Okay, I guess we're live, I think. Can you hear me? I don't know. I'm just going to check on my phone and see if the sound is coming through. Okay. This is my first time doing a live, so please be patient with me. Haha, sound is coming through. Okay, so sound is coming through. This is good. So I do have my chat up here. I'll try to answer questions if anyone wants to ask them. And I'm really sorry we didn't get a full-length video out this Wednesday. Things just got really busy and I didn't have time to get all of the extra filming done. I mean, I filmed all the meals, but I didn't have time to do the intro and outro and voiceovers and stuff like that. It will be coming up on Saturday. And in the meantime, I put out that short video about kind of cleaning our fridge, and now we're gonna decant some spices. I have a couple of spice jars that have gotten kind of low. I've bought a few more spices that I think I need for different recipes that I want to try. And I guess I can kind of show you how I do that as we go along. So we're gonna get started. I buy most of my spices at Winco in their bulk section. So that's what these bags are. But I think we're actually going to start, I'm trying to think, because I don't want to have to wash this funnel in between. But I don't really need the funnel when it's just the bags. So I think we're going to start with this because I have had cinnamon in this jar for quite a while, but it's not the same size as my other jars. And so I want to transfer it to a different jar. What I have been using for spices recently are these just half pint jars because they've been on sale at my local Winco several times throughout the last few months. Okay, so that's transferred, and then it's only about half full, and I still have these individual cinnamon containers from, I have no idea how long ago. I wonder if they have expiration dates on them. Oh yeah, this expired in May of last year. It's cinnamon. I'm not too worried about it. So there's that. And then this one, I don't know if this one's even open yet. Nope, this one's not open yet. So we're not going to open that since not the whole thing won't fit in here. I'm going to put the lid back on it. And I have made labels for the lids of these. You can't see it says cinnamon, but I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that because it doesn't seem quite worth the effort. So I'm just going to write on the jar. I just use a Sharpie. I mean, I think it's technically a Bic, not Sharpie brand. And it washes right off. It washes off the jars really easily. And then if you're using the, if you're just reusing old canning lids, it actually washes off of the lids fairly well as well if you want to do that. So we're going to stick this back over here and then move on. So minced onions. And yeah, that got quite dirty. So we probably won't use that again. If we need it, I'll rinse it. But minced onions don't tend to go everywhere. And I have been using these a ton recently because both my husband and I really like onion. And this is an easy way to add onion to a dish without having to actually chop onions. Okay. And so what I do is I have a quart jar of most spices. I might eventually transition that to half-gallon jars, depending on how our spice usage tracks throughout this year, because I want to have a year's worth of spices on hand. And so the ones that we use a lot more of, I'll start keeping those in half-gallon jars. But for now, I'm keeping most of my spices just in quart jars. And then another one that's gotten low is my garlic powder. And that one, I think we are actually going to need, I think these are two different, they look very different in the jars. This one is a lot finer than this one, but this one is the one that is labeled garlic powder. No, it's garlic powder. And when I open the lid, it looks a lot more like it. Because I also have onion powder here, but that jar is over there. So I was confused for a second. And this is going to go everywhere, but I really don't want to rinse and fully dry that funnel. So we're just going to hope for the best. Oh, I can smell the garlic. Now we're just going to put that whole thing in there. And then the next time I go to Winco, I will attempt to buy exactly a quart's worth of garlic powder. I'm never quite successful at getting exactly the right amount. Okay, that, you have to see this. Okay, so it is actually two different grinds, density. I don't know. One of these is much finer than the other, probably why I hadn't refilled the garlic jar. So I'm just going to shake it, see if I can get it to mix together a little bit. And I will try to remember next time to not refill this. Okay, that's mixing pretty well. Try to remember to not refill this until I completely empty it so that we can have one kind of garlic powder in our jar. The next one I'm going to refill is basil. And I actually have been forgetting to buy basil for a really long time. Like I went to the store a couple weeks ago and I was like, oh yeah, I'm out of that one spice. What was it again? Or I know basil's an herb, not a spice. And I bought a whole bunch of parsley. I had plenty of parsley. It was basil. So I finally got basil to refill this. So as I'm refilling this, I don't think it says there's one person watching, but I think that's me. So, or maybe it's my husband, who knows? But since I'm not getting any questions, I wanted to just kind of talk about where we are planning to go with this channel in the near future. And things like that. So as you know, we try to post videos every Wednesday and Saturday. And on Wednesdays, I usually post kind of our meals of the week. Where did I put my marker? Did anybody see where I put my marker? Oh, there it is. I did put it back in the drawer. So on Wednesdays, I usually try to post our meals of the week. And then on Saturdays, we post some other video of me making something different. And coming up at the end of February, we aren't going to be doing meals of the week every week anymore. So I'm just going to write this both on the top and on the side. Just write it on this side. Put this back in here. Okay. I think that's everything I was going to refill. Yeah. So let's take, I bought oregano because I realized that's a fairly common spice that I didn't have. Except I also don't have it in a little jar, so I should put it in a little jar first. So after February, we won't be posting meals of the week every week. And so if you're watching this later, please leave me a comment on what kind of videos you would like to see. I recently purchased a SD card, a memory card for my cell phone, which is what I usually record on. I'm using a webcam for this because it was just easier to do the live and be able to see the chat just in case people had questions. But usually I just record on my cell phone, and I bought an SD card, so now I can record for more than 15 minutes at a time, which has been very difficult. So I'm hoping to do some more, not exactly day in the life, but more like, oh, this is how I cook the whole meal, or this is how I do this whole process, because I can record the whole process in one swoop without having to go upload videos to the computer over and over and over again. Well, I've got the marker out. We're going to do this one too. So I plan to do some of those. But I'm wondering if anyone would be interested in videos that are more kind of what we're doing, not just cooking videos, but like what we're doing around the house, or because we only moved into this house a year and a half ago, so we're still working on getting things kind of settled. Or I'm planning to do videos about anything we plant in the garden and our gardening, but we also need to build the garden fence and the garden beds, and I'm wondering if anyone would be interested in videos about that. Okay, so this is sage. At some point, there will be a video coming out with January and February's random preservation tasks. And you'll see in November, I think, or maybe it was even the end of October. And it's sage that she grew in her garden. And I've had it hanging in my kitchen for, ever since then, just full leaves on the stem. And I've used leaves here, a couple of leaves here and there, on like turkey, or things like that. Roast, I think I used it in a roast once. But I just don't use it very often because it's just hanging in my kitchen. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to try grinding it up. And it wasn't super successful. It's kind of more fuzzy pieces rather than flakes, per se. And I'm not sure why that happens, but I think I'll use it more. And then I'll buy sage from the store after that. So if you watch this later, please leave me a comment and let me know if you'd be interested in the actual building of the garden, the fence and the beds and things like that. Or if you'd be interested in things like I need to do a more permanent, useful solution for my didn't write what this is. I need a more permanent, useful situation for my spice jars because they don't all fit right there. But we're pretty low on cabinet space and counter space. I'll do a kitchen tour eventually to show you guys that. But I need a better solution. So if you'd be interested in seeing a video of me doing that when I figure that out, let me know. Okay, so we're gonna do this one next because this is sesame seeds. I'm gonna try making our own hamburger buns. Not this week because we're not doing sloppy joes this week, but I think we will next week. And I'm gonna try making our own hamburger buns. And I always spell this word wrong, so I'm actually gonna read it off of the card where I wrote it. So we are going to try to make our own hamburger buns next week, but I have scaled back a little bit on some of the other homemade items that I've been kind of working on. For example, we still have a bunch of, I bought a little bit more than a half pint of this. Well, I will use these first. So recently I've been trying to make our own tortillas and our own sandwich bread and our own refried beans. And it takes a surprising amount of time, especially when you are not proficient at it. And I've never, this is all new to me. And so it's not something that can just do without thinking about it. Yet. And so it takes me a long time, and I still haven't gotten our sandwich bread recipe right. Another random preservation project I already wrote on that one that you'll see in that video is making breadcrumbs out of bread that I did not cook all the way through because I haven't figured out how to do it right yet. But we will get there. I'm pretty sure this is parsley. I have to compare it because I don't just know what parsley smells like. It smells like grass. It doesn't taste like grass, but it smells like grass. Yeah, that's parsley. So we're going to refill the parsley jar while I'm at it. And then a little bit more in there. So I've been trying to learn how to make those things, but it's really overwhelming and it takes a really long time. And we are having company for a week in March. And I'd really like the house to be at least a little bit more put together for that company. And so I have decided to scale back a little bit on making things myself. Even though Pantry Challenge is not quite over, I'm just going to buy them from the store. I need one more quart jar. And yes, because I don't have a jar for parsley yet. And then I will start again once I get the house feeling a little bit more settled. Place for everything and everything in its place. I'll start again one thing at a time, trying to make our own bread products and refried beans and other things that I think of or that you guys tell me I should try making. And I know this lid doesn't have anything on it, but I promise they've all been used, and the way you can tell is I just pushed down on it and it didn't pop back up on its own. And it's especially clear if you take it just not on a lid. And if you pop it, and I can pop it back and forth, but it doesn't pop back and forth on its own. And I don't have any unused lids up here, but I will show you if you do that with an unused lid, it just pops right back by itself. Parsley. So yeah, that's going to be one thing that I'm changing just for the next little while. Okay, and then I have this one packet of taco seasoning, which we're getting very low on taco seasoning. And I planned to make our own taco seasoning, but that might have to wait until I get the house a little bit more settled. And I saw the other day, yesterday? I don't know. The other day when I was at Winco, I saw that they actually do sell this in bulk, not just in these little packets. I looked the last time I bought it, and I couldn't find it in the bulk section, so I just bought a bunch of the little packets. But I felt kind of bad, you know, because like it's kind of paper, but it's not really paper, so I don't know how well it's going to biodegrade. But so I can buy this in bulk until we have time to make our own. Okay, so I think that is all the spices I needed to decant. And unless anybody has any questions, we're probably going to end here, just because this is my first time trying to do this. And while I am really great at talking when I have someone to talk to, I'm still not super great at talking just to the camera without kind of planning what I'm going to say first. So I'll wait a couple minutes just in case, because it looks like there's 2 people watching. Hi. So if either of you has any questions, let me know. In the meantime, and after this, I'm going to go wash my previous cinnamon jar. I'm going to get my spices, my bulk spices, back down to the basement. And then I will probably go work on Saturday's video so that we can actually get that out to you. So thanks for being here with me on my first live. We will definitely be doing this again, whether just because I couldn't get a video out on Wednesday or because we decided it was really fun and I want to hang out with you guys again. But thank you for being here on the Palma Pioneer Pantry, and I will see you on Saturday.